What is the best handheld ham radio for 2024? The best HT radio. HT for handy talkie or handheld transceiver. What is the best one for 2024? I'm going to give you my top 14 radios that range in price, and I'm going to show you features of each one and let you pick and you decide what you want. Let's go. These videos are popular every year. I've been doing them since 2020, and I really enjoy these videos. I don't want to do them too early in the year because we don't know what's going to come out yet, but since the Huntsville Ham Fest just ended and the Tokyo Ham Fair just happened, we get to see some new HTs on the market. So let's talk about my top 14 today. As I do with most of these videos, these are going to range in price. We're going to start with the lowest price, and we're going to go up to the highest price. So this is number 14. Number 14 is the lowest price. Now, you can, and on a lot of these videos, I will start with the Baofeng UV5R. And you can still get a Baofeng UV5R on Amazon for sometimes between $23 to $27. They kind of range in price sometimes. You can get a package with a bunch of accessories, all for like $35, $38, something like that. A lot of different options out there for that. However, I'm going to start today, number 14, with the Baofeng UV17R. And the reason for this, I did a video about this radio not too long ago. This one has airband receive, NOAA weather receiving. It has a USB-C battery. It has about 999 memory channels. And this one and the UV21 and even the 21's a higher number, 17. I'm not sure which one came out first. UV13, I think. I think the 13 came out first. I did a video on that one too. All of these kind of form factor radios, they all hold more channels than your standard UV5R or UV82, which is a 128 channel radio. So this is going to have more channels, more features, color screen, larger screen, USB-C battery recharging, airband receive, NOAA weather receive, 7 watts instead of the standard 5 watts. And for only $32 on Amazon, for this radio, this is an excellent beginner's radio. I would not recommend this radio to someone who's had their license for a few years unless you just want a knock-around radio. If you want an extra radio to put in your pack or put in your truck and have with you all the time, take out to the hunting lease, you drop it, you forget it, you leave it somewhere, you break it, you don't care because it's only $32. You don't want to do that with your $400 HT. This might be for you. That's exactly what I use mine for. I keep mine in my RV, and it's always there. You easily recharge via USB-C if I ever need it. There you go. Baofeng UV17R on Amazon. The link will be in the description below today for this and everything else we talk about. Number 13 is from a company called B-Tech, Baofeng Tech. They are in North Dakota. Maybe South Dakota. It's one of them. They're an American company that imports radios from China, sometimes upgrades them, sometimes comes out with new models. You're going to see some models in B-Tech that you don't see on regular Baofeng. This is one of my favorite, and this has been on my list several years in a row. This is the B-Tech UV5x3. It looks just like a Baofeng UV5R, except the receive sensitivity is a little bit better. The front-end rejection is a little bit better, which means you're not going to get as many chirps and birdies in it as you would on like a $23 Baofeng UV5R. But this one includes 220. It includes the 220 megahertz band, so it is a tri-band radio where most of your Baofeng UV5Rs are just dual band radios. Now, a lot of the times you can, through software, you can open up a UV5R to do tri-band, but my experience has been that this UV5x3 from B-Tech performs better, it sounds better, it lasts longer. I've got the extended battery on mine, which you can find those for UV5Rs too. And it's just an all-around good radio. I've had my B-Tech UV5x3 for about 5 years at the time of this recording. It still works great. I use it at my hunting lease all the time, and it works very well. So $65 on Amazon today. Check the prices. One thing about prices real quick, because every year this comes up and people say, oh, well, you said the price was this, but the price is actually this today, and he's watching my video 3 or 6 or 9 months later. Prices fluctuate. Shouldn't surprise anyone. Prices fluctuate. All the prices I'm telling you right now are the prices in September of 2024, but they're going to fluctuate over time. So check all the links in the description below and check all of your favorite ham radio retailers for the most current pricing. Number 12 is another one that's been on my list 2 or 3 times. This is the TYT TH350. Also a tri-band radio, comes from buy2wayradios.com, who is one of our sponsors. $69.99 for this radio. The great thing about this radio, and he doesn't really have a picture right here that shows this very well, but the great thing about this radio is it's not only tri-band, but it's tri-display. So you can see, and I did a video about this radio when it was new several years ago. You can see all three bands on the screen at the same time. So you can see your 144 megahertz band at the top, your 220 megahertz band in the middle, and your 440 megahertz band at the bottom. And you can switch those around a little bit, kind of off and on. 2 meters, 220, 440. Nagoya makes an NA771, I think it is, antenna. That's a tri-band antenna. This one and the UV5x3 both come with two antennas. One is dual band, one is 220 only. Kind of lame, in my opinion, that they come that way, but Nagoya makes a tri-band antenna, and a couple other companies do as well. So you can get a Nagoya or a Mellowave or a Smiley antenna that's tri-band that you can use on a tri-band radio and make it so where you can use all three of the bands. But this one's great because it's been out for several years. It still is sold. It's still popular. I have mine that's 5 or 6 years old, and it still works well. I've never had to change the battery on it or anything, and it's a tri-band radio, and I really love the 220 megahertz band. So if you're into 220 megahertz, check the repeaters in your area. Check the people and the ham clubs in your area. Find out if there's any 220 megahertz activity in your area. And if there is, one of these tri-band radios might be for you. Number 13, the UV5x3, or number 12, the TH350. Those might be for you. But if not, then just go with the dual band radio. Nothing wrong with that either. Number 11 is the Waxon or Oshang UV9D Mate. Now, I personally carry this radio fairly often into the field. Better Safe Radio, who we're going to talk about here in just 1 minute, they have USB-C chargeable batteries for all of these UV9 series Waxon. So if it says Waxon UV9 or KG-UV9, whatever the last letter is, there's a UV9D, there's a UV9P, there's a UV9K, a couple other ones. If it has UV9 in it, then they all use the same battery. So you can get a USB-C rechargeable battery from Better Safe Radio. Again, we're going to talk about them here in just a minute. But this one right here is a dual band radio, 10 watts of power per band, 2 meters and 440, and it's orange. I like the fact that it's orange. That is really pleasing to me. I take this one. This is probably the one that I use most often at my hunting lease. I have 3 or 4 radios I keep at my hunting lease, or I don't keep them. I always take them with me when I go. This one's great because I have actually dropped this in the field before and left it somewhere, left it in the deer stand. It fell off of my truck, or I left it on my truck and I drove off and forgot it. And when you come back by that area, you can see that orange radio glaring at you from the dirt much better than you can see a black radio. So it stands out in the crowd. It's easy to see. It's easy to spot. It works very well. Again, I've had mine for several years and I still use it. I upgraded to the USB-C battery recently, and it works even better now because I can just plug it into my brick, my charging brick, or my 12-volt power supply, my battery box, whatever. Charge it in the same place I charge several of my radios and my phone, and it works great for what it is. So the UV9D Mate from Buy2A Radios, that will be in the description below as well. So the UV9D Mate from Buy2A Radios comes in at $160 today, and it has 999 memory channels also. Most of these UV9 series radios from Oshang Waxon has 999 memory channels. So memory channels is something that you want to look for when choosing your first radio for sure. Number 10 is brand new, and I just got one of these in. So I'm kind of tinkering with it right now. I want to do some stuff with it before I make a video, but this is the BTEC UV Pro IP67 dual band VHF UHF 2-way radio with APRS, Bluetooth, GPS, text messaging, aviation band scanner, NOAA weather alerts, and USB-C chargeable battery. $165 today on Amazon. There's a UV Pro GMRS that I've tinkered with a little bit. And with this free app you download that Bluetooths to your radio, you can send text messages from the app through the radio to a friend with this radio and app. And if you're off-grid, you can text each other. You can see where each other are on the map because both radios have GPS. And it's a great off-grid tool because it uses your phone and it uses, or any Android device, phone, tablet, and it uses the radio. And instead of sending texts and GPS over the internet, it's sending it over the air. So you have to be in range of one another. You can't be several miles away, 10, 20, 100 miles away, something like that, with a handheld radio, unless you like up on top of a mountain or something. That might work. But this is a really cool tool and cool feature for the modern ham radio, the modern day ham radio. And I'm really looking forward to trying this. Again, I've got one of these. I haven't tinkered with it very much at the time of this recording, but BTEC makes a great product. I've got many of their radios, and I'm very impressed with what they do. So I feel pretty confident in telling you guys that you should check this one out We're going to learn more about it in a video I make later on. But seamless Bluetooth connectivity for enhanced control, effortlessly sync your UV Pro with the BTEC UV Programmer app on iOS and Android. Okay, so it is on iOS too. Emergency ready with NOAA weather alerts and built-in compass. Be ready for any challenge with real-time NOAA weather alerts and integrated compass for navigation. Frequency detection with the UV Pro's Frequency Sync rapid scanning. You can quickly locate and lock on to nearby frequencies, whether you're coordinating a team or scanning emergency channels. Complete package for easy setup. Get started immediately with the UV Pro radio, a 2600 milliamp hour battery, antenna belt clip, Type-C USB charging cable, screws in a screwdriver, detailed user manual, etc., etc. IP67 rated for dust and impact. Stay connected worldwide. Bluetooth compatibility allows you to connect to a global network of users through the Programmer app. I wonder if that app, maybe that app connects to each other over the internet. So you have added features if you do have an internet connection. That's kind of neat. BTEC is proud to be in the USA, which allows you to have the best available support for any issue that might arise. BTEC only engineers and develops radio products. The brand focuses allows to have you the best available radios, accessories for the most features. Again, you can call them, contact them. They are in the United States, so they are in the same. They're in one of our time zones instead of around the world in a completely other time zone that's 10 or 15 hours ahead of us. So this is a really cool radio. I'm looking forward to trying mine, and it comes in at number 10 today. Number 9 is going to be bettersaferadio.com, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. You can always save a 7% discount on any of their radios with the coupon code of HR2all7. They're not a sponsor of this channel or this video, but they do give discounts to my viewers that I pass on to you guys. And they're a great company to work with. A company in the USA, but their radios are made in China. All of their radios, unlike most of what we're going to talk about today, all of their radios come pre-programmed. He's got a code plug or programming software. He's got a code plug, a programming file that gets loaded into all the radios with over 900 memory channels. That includes ham radio, GMRS, police and fire were available, NOAA weather, emergency alert stations, all kinds of different channels, and you can just scan through all those and see which ones work closest to you. All of the radios from Better Safe Radio come programmed this way. He's got GMRS radios, he's got several levels of ham radios, he's got LMR commercial grade radios right here, and he's got this BLO033 220 milliamp hour USB-C battery for all UV9 series walks-on radios. His flagship is a UV9 Papa X-Ray. It's on sale right now for $185, coming in at number 9. Again, we're going up in price, down in numbers for whatever reason. I just wanted to do that. 8-watt, 999 memory channels, pre-programmed super heterodyne UHF VHF emergency ham two-way radio, and 7-band SHTF scanner. In other words, it has more, and most of the UV9 series, well, not most of them, some of the UV9 series radios have 7-band receive. So it'll receive and transmit on the 2 meters, the 144 megahertz, and the 440 megahertz band, but it will receive on 7 other bands, including your 800 megahertz police and fire. So it's very possible that if your police and fire agency in your county or your town does not use digital, if they use analog, it's very possible that this radio will pick it up. So that's an added bonus to that, part of the programming code plug that comes with it. Again, you can save 7% off of this price and whatever the price is today whenever you're watching this video, HR2all7 at bettersaferadio.com. So check that out. Link to that will be in the description below also. Number 8 is from Yaesu. Now, to date, so far, everything we've talked about has been a Chinese-made radio. The Baofeng's a Chinese-made radio. The TYT's a Chinese-made. Waxon's a Chinese-made. BTEC is technically made in China, although those radios, the company is here, but the radios themselves are made in China. Yaesu is a Japanese company. Yaesu radios are typically made in Japan. This is a Yaesu FT70DR 5-watt C4FM dual-band 144 and 430 megahertz radio. It is a single-band display, monochrome screen, which gets the price down a little bit more. Not a very large screen, but it will do Yaesu System Fusion. So if you're interested in some of the digital modes offered in ham radio today, we're going to talk about 3 of them in this video: Yaesu System Fusion, DMR, and D-Star. They don't talk to one another without some sort of external source like an OpenSpot or something like that, but they are all popular modes to connect via repeater or hotspot to internet-connected devices and talk to people all over the world. If that's not your cup of tea, then you probably don't need anything like that. But it is a fun mode to talk on when you're just in the hobby of ham radio. This one comes in at $174.95 from Gigaparts right here. It has 5 watts of output power inside of a compact body. It has 1105 channel memory. Right here it says just that. Wideband receive coverage from 108 megahertz up to 579.995 megahertz. So it will receive regular broadcast FM radio. It will receive your 220 megahertz commercial and ham bands, the MERS band, the GMRS band, FRS band, everything in between. So wideband receive. Weather channels for severe alert warning. 1800 milliamp hour battery. Equipped with an external jack for DC power supply and charge. Lots of great stuff. So if you're interested in getting started in System Fusion, this could be a step in the right direction for you. Only $175 for this radio. Number 7 is another radio from Yaesu. Now, I personally like this one better myself because I like Yaesu System Fusion. It's fun to use, but I would rather have the 220 megahertz band. This is the Yaesu VX6R. Now, this FT7DR Delta Romeo is a dual band radio, but it looks very similar to this VX6R. The difference, of course, is the VX6R includes the 220 megahertz band. It is a tri-band radio. 248.89 at RNL Electronics at the time of this recording. The VX6R is an ultra rugged 144 to 430 megahertz FM handheld featuring wide receiver coverage, JIS7 submersibility. So it's got some toughness to it. Yaesu exclusive emergency automatic identification system and an ultra simple keyboard access to important functions. There's a lot of accessories that are made by like DigiRig and a couple other companies so that you can put this radio onto an APRS or a WinLink system and do 2 meter or 220 WinLink. Kind of cool. Very rugged. I know a lot of guys that do field radio and field comms and MCOM type stuff, and they use this radio because it is so rugged and versatile. One of my favorite radios. I've had one of these for a couple of years. I like the fact that it has the 220 megahertz band. That's the original reason I got it, but it is a very rugged and very good sounding radio. So again, if you're interested in tri-band or you're just interested in something that's better built with a better receiver and a little bit heavier duty to go into the field, the Yaesu VX6R might be for you. Number 6 is we're back to a Chinese radio. The two Yaesu radios we just talked about are both Japanese radios. This is the Anytone 878 UV2 Plus. And at Bridgecom, you can get a free $97 course with it. Again, this video is not sponsored by Bridgecom, but this is what they're advertising right now. Bridgecom has a lot of training videos that they give away for free when you buy products from them. You can, if you don't buy products from them, you can buy their training videos for $97. But if you do buy one of the Anytone radios from them, they give you the training videos for free. Lots of people like their training videos because it goes through a very detailed process on how to use DMR and how to use the Anytone radios. One of my favorite radios is this Anytone. This is one that I carry with me on my pack pretty much everywhere I go. And you've heard me say that a couple times today about a couple different radios. It depends on where I'm going. If I'm going to Galveston, if I'm going on a road trip, I'm going to my hunting lease, I can change up what I'm carrying where. This one currently, at the time of this recording, I have an everyday carry backpack by Eberly Stock that I carry, which is called a Switchblade backpack. And it has one radio pocket on the outside of it, and that's where I carry this 878 UV2 Plus. So generally speaking, if I'm going somewhere that I take my backpack, this radio is with me. USB-C chargeable battery, 3,000 memory channels, a nice beautiful color screen that you can see right there, easily programmable from a computer, but also easily programmable from the keypad. You can totally program everything from the keypad. I use mine on analog almost more than I do on DMR these days, although this one does DMR. Digital mobile radio, it's one of the digital modes we have in ham radio. This is the only DMR radio we're going to talk about today, and it's my favorite DMR radio. This is one of the only DMR radios that was actually made for the ham radio community. So this is just a great all-around radio. I really like DMR. I don't use it for DMR much these days. I use it for analog more than anything, but this is one of my favorite radios because they do have USB-C chargeable batteries now, and they're a big 2,800 milliamp hour battery, I believe is what it is. But it's just packed with features, packed with a great-looking screen, really good. This is like the 5th or 6th iteration of dual-band DMR radio to come from Anytone. They're probably due for an upgrade, honestly, because this one's been out a while, but this is still just a great radio. Bluetooth, APRS on analog, all kinds of features in that radio. $335 from Bridgecom today. Check the link in the description below. Pretty much all of these radios you can use with a technician license, which gives you privileges on 50 megahertz and up. And one of the best ways to get your technician license is to go to hamradioprep.com. Ham Radio Prep is the sponsor of today's video. You can download their app for free. Grab your Android device or your iOS device, search for Ham Radio Prep, download their app for free. Get started today on learning your technician class license if you're not licensed yet at all, or get your general or extra upgrade to your license from Ham Radio Prep. You can buy their service and save a 20% discount with the coupon code of Jason20 off of all of their packages, and it opens up a wide range of informational and instructional videos that help you get to the next step in your amateur radio journey. So thank you, Ham Radio Prep, for sponsoring this channel. The Anytone we just spoke about was the last Chinese radio that we're going to talk about today. Everything we're going to talk about from here forth is Japanese. Brand new to the market in 2024 is the ICOM ID50A. Actually, it might have been 2023 when this one came out. The 52A Plus, which we'll talk about here in a second, is brand new 2024. So the ID52 came out a couple years ago. Then the 50 came out after that. So I'm not sure if they're not the only, ICOM's not the only company kind of go backwards on model numbers. It just kind of happens sometimes, no big deal. This one has a few less features than the ID52, but the price tag's a lot smaller also. As well, the original ID52 had micro USB charging, where this has USB-C charging. So you get better charging capabilities with this ID50, and it can do dual band, D-Star, dual band analog, holds a lot of channels, USB-C chargeable programming, and it has the ICOM quality sound receive and transmit audio behind it. It uses the same battery as the ID51 and ID52 radios and as the IC705. So the USB-C rechargeable batteries is interchangeable between all those radios. So if you've already invested some money in the ICOM world, this could be a good choice for you. $399 today is the price of that radio. The next one up this is one of my favorites, honestly. This is the Yaesu FT5D. This is another one that I carry with me pretty much everywhere I go when I'm on a road trip. I did a video just not too long ago about my Maxpedition EDC Everyday Carry Pack that I had this radio in, a lot of accessories to go along with it. This is the Yaesu FT5DR. This is their flagship HT from Yaesu. It has a beautiful full screen color display on it. It has true APRS in analog, very robust, very feature-packed APRS messaging, APRS beaconing, news bulletins, the whole 9 yards. The menu system takes some getting used to, but this is a really, really good radio if you're into APRS with a big, huge color screen on it, and it has a touch screen on it as well. It is just a dual band radio, 144 and 440 megahertz, so you miss out on some of the features that the 220 radios have, but this is one of my favorite radios, and again, one that I carry with me many, many times. The ICOM ID52A Plus, which is number 3. This is number 3. ICOM ID52A Plus. This radio was just announced like a month ago. I don't know anyone who actually has this in stock yet. I think it's on HRO's website. It says right here it's out of stock on the Gigaparts website, but I think it's because they haven't got them yet. So the ID52 Plus is a 5-watt handheld transceiver, dual band with D-Star. It has a little bit bigger display and a more color display than the ID50. It has a few more features that you can read about down here. A little bit more than the ID50, but it is, unlike the ID52, this one is USB-C chargeable because the original ID52 was micro USB, and then the new ID50, the 52A Plus, and the 52A Plus Anniversary Edition, because it's 60 years of ICOM this year, all have USB-C charging capabilities. So this is one of the newest flagship radios from ICOM, and again, if you're an ICOM fan and you like their ecosystem and you like how you can take a micro SD card, download the worldwide repeater directory from dstarinfo.net, I think it is, something like that, and you can load all the repeaters onto your micro SD card, put it in this radio, and the GPS in this radio tells you where you are, and it'll give you all the repeaters near you, both D-Star and analog. Pretty cool feature of most of these ICOM radios. So this is a good radio. Haven't had my hands on this one yet, but being that it's from ICOM, it's definitely getting added to the list today. Number 3, $679 at the time of this recording. This is the first and only and last Kenwood we're going to talk about today. This is the brand new THD75. I just got one of these earlier this year. Very cool radio. We saw this at Dayton Hamvention of 2024 earlier this year. This is a 5-watt tri-band radio. We're back to the 220 world. We've got 2 meters, 144 megahertz, 220, 1.25 meters, and 440, 70 centimeters, all packed into this brand new HT radio. It has a full color display. It's only a dual band display, so you can display 2 bands at one time, even though it's a tri-band radio. Full color display. It has a accessible TNC, terminal node controller, so that you can interface it via USB or Bluetooth to programs on your phone like APRS Droid, or you can use it as a digipeater, as an APRS digipeater, and if you have an external antenna, you can plug in this radio and use another radio to beacon your own APRS signal out through this radio that acts as a digipeater for APRS packets. Pretty cool stuff. This radio probably has the best and easiest menus to program from the front panel of most of these HTs that we're going to talk about today. Just a great all-around radio with a lot of extra features that are not seen in several of these radios, which includes full-fledged APRS, full TNC that's accessible via Bluetooth or USB, tri-band, and D-Star. This is Kenwood's flagship radio, HT radio, coming in at $699. Kind of pricey for a handheld, but with all the extra features it's got, it's definitely getting added to the list today as number 2. And the first one, the number one HT we're going to talk about today, and the reason it's number 1 is because of the price. Remember, we're going in price. This is the ICOM ID52A Plus 60th Anniversary Limited Edition. I'm not sure how limited it is. They did a 50th anniversary of the ID51A, and those things were around for a long, long time, so I don't know. But you can see it's a silver color here, really cool. If you're a big ICOM fanboy, this might be one for you because it's different. It comes in a black box rather than the cardboard box. A lot of people, if you go to sell a radio and you don't have a box, the radio is not worth as much. So the box is actually quite important. This is a silver radio with a black display and a color screen on top of a black background. Very beautiful looking display. I'm planning on picking one of these up because I got to have one of everything. As soon as Main Trading Company or Gigaparts gets some of these in, you're going to see a video about this on my channel. But this is a great radio. D-Star, USB-C, over 1,000 memory channels. The ICOM carrying strap that we saw at the Huntsville Hamfest. Apparently that makes it worth more money. I don't know. I don't know. This is the black box that it comes in. Very nostalgic. Collector's edition. If you're into that sort of thing, 10, 20 years from now, this will probably be worth a few more dollars than just the regular version of the ID52. So that one comes in at number 1 today because it is the most expensive one. $729 at the time of this recording. These are brand new. They were just released last month. Started shipping from ICOM last month in August of 2024, and that one is on the list today. So that is the number 1 radio because of price out of my 14 top radios for 2024. Thanks for bearing with me. Let me know if you think I missed anything. Let me know if you think I should have added anything, or let me know what you think about the price tags on some of these later radios because, yeah, kind of high for a handheld dual band radio. But hey, you know what? Progress comes with more features, more options, more things we've been asking about, and just the price of everything right now is high. So just, no one's forcing you to buy it, so don't buy it if you don't want to. Check the links in the description below. Thanks for watching today.